Hey guys, John Cristani here. So this video I'm going to go over a little bit about remarketing. This should be this is a pretty short section because it's really easy to do, and people make a lot of fuss about how remarketing is, the best tricks in sliced bread and all that stuff. And it really is. It's very important to, most businesses, especially businesses that are very targeted, to just getting more customers. It's extremely targeted, but it's really easy to do. So I don't understand why more businesses don't do it and why there's a lot of fuss about it, honestly. Um, so first I'm going to go over search retargeting, and this is reminding people using Google search. Basically, if somebody searches for, well, let's actually dive right into a campaign here. So what you'll see is the front end, on the front end, people are coming to, for instance, this is a site we do a product we do advertising for called Bedroom Guardians, bedbug eradication kits. And the front end words that new people are finding out about this are phrases like bed bugs and get rid of bed bugs, how to get rid of bed bug sprays, bed bug treatments, etc. So these are the words people are coming to our website for. Now, when you look, if somebody is searching how to get rid of bed bugs, it means they have a problem, and we're going to want, whether those people hit our site and buy or not, we want to continue serving them ads because they probably still have a bed bug problem even if after they leave our site. Typically, 95% of people are not gonna buy, or maybe 80% of people aren't going to fill out the lead form on your website. So most people aren't going to get into your lead funnel immediately. But that doesn't mean they don't have the problem. Obviously, in this case, they're searching for bed bugs. If somebody's searching for, in the case of Tracy, acne treatment, it means they still need that, they still have that problem, and they still, need the product. So it's really simple to do remarketing. We're going to go over here. You see this little tab on the left, and you're going to go to Shared Library, and you'll see you have audiences right here. So basically what remarketing is we're going to place a cookie on that person's browser. You just go to Audiences, View, wait for it to load a little bit. Wait a second here. And see we have remarketing set up here for a couple different lists. You just do plus remarketing list. You say website. I'll just say test 1, 2, 3. You say visitors of a page with a specific tag. This is what I like to use. You could also do it through Google Analytics, but do whatever you'd like. And we'll say plus new tag. We'll say, okay, within 30 days, and you can test different time periods. If you run a very niche business, let's say you run, like, what's a good one? Personal injury. Let's say Oliver Manufacturing. Like Betsy's, industrial equipment company. The fact of the matter is, people might, who need industrial manufacturing, it might be a long sales process. It might not be something that you take action in within 30 days. So you want to continually remind people. So if we were doing Oliver Manufacturing, for instance, with Betsy, we might set it to a longer duration just because there are less people visiting your site and the sales process is a longer process. So I'd set it to longer in that case. But in this case, for a bed bug product, I'm guessing people are going to decide whether they want your product within 30 days. For personal injury, I'm guessing 30 days might work as well. So I just say test 1, 2, 3. I click save. And now look, Google actually gives you a code to put on your site. So it says right before the end body tag. Now, there's an insertion guide here. There's lots of other support online. You can send this to your web developer or just go into your website or WordPress site or whatever you're using. You just copy and paste this tag right before that end body tag. So now you're building your audience. And it takes a little time because each person who visits your site is basically going to have a cookie placed on their browser, so Google can say, ooh, this is somebody who visited your site. We want to continue to show them ads. So let's say this is all set up. I'm going to go back to our campaigns. Just click on the campaigns tab. Now what you do is we're going to go to search retargeting, and you just do a new ad group. So it's taking a little time to load here. And what you do, well, let me just go back here, is you're going to select some keywords, obviously, and you'll select some keywords. What I suggest for search retargeting is be very broad in your keywords, or you can just target everybody. So in this case, we're targeting, we're using our brand name, we're using bed bugs, and it's just very broad targeting. You'll see, say, our brand name here. What you'll see is what we set as our method of targeting is we didn't set, we set some broad keywords, and we also set an audience to be this list of visitors, bedroom, guardian, all site visitors. And that's how you do that. It's very simple and very straightforward. Now these ads are going to show up in Google search. So for instance, if somebody goes to google.com and let's say they searched for, bed bug treatments one day. Now if they, let's say the word, or let's use Tracy as an example. So Tracy, she knows acne treatment is a good word for her because that's somebody who's very targeted, who's going to purchase her products. She knows acne doesn't work because it's too broad. Now with search retargeting, what happens is acne, we can actually bid on acne. We can combine this keyword, the word acne, in broad with a retargeting list, and that combination is very deadly because what you're doing is you're combining people, that retargeting list, people who are already familiar with your brand or your website, who have visited there before on maybe a more targeted keyword search. And then you also have this word acne, which in and of itself shows little intent, but that combined with that familiarity with your site and the fact that this person is continuing to research this means that you can actually open up your advertising here and actually tap into a bigger source of traffic and try to get that person to convert again, even on a broader term. So that's the power of search retargeting. And search retargeting is a form of remarketing. Now the second form of remarketing is display remarketing, and that is showing your website in Google's AdSense network. So for instance, let me find some AdSense ads. There's some AdSense ads probably. So like here's an AdSense ad. Now this is just, you're showing ads to people just as they're browsing the internet, as they're on HuffingtonPost.com, or as they're on Demonoid, or torrent site, or whatever they're doing online. They're on news sites, etc. You're showing your ads in these spaces. Let's wait for this to load. And this is going to be an advertisement right here. So you're going to show, your ad's going to follow people around online and just continue to remind them hey, we run an agricultural equipment company. Are you still interested in X, Y, or Z, whatever your product is you're offering? Let's go back here. So here's remarketing. And what that looks like is we're just going to go to the ad group and see we named this ad group all site visitors because we're targeting all site visitors. And what we did was we made this into a display ad group. And this is, we're targeting display network. That's the type of the campaign. And the way we set it up is that we're targeting this audience. Notice, here's the audience again. This is the audience name of that pixel we created and put on our site. And we just targeted this. We're bidding 60 cents. And you'll see we have some text ads that are going to follow people around on sites like Huffington Post and what have you. And we also have some, pretty disgusting little or big bed bugs, images of this following people around. So we got that's pretty cool. Following people around to just continually remind people, hey, are bed bugs still a problem for you? If so, come back to our site. So that's really the long and short of remarketing. All it really requires is one, creating that audience and placing that pixel on your site. Two, creating an ad group, either a search ad group and a display ad group, targeting that audience. And three, just throwing up some ads. And it's fairly easy. Oftentimes, I'll use the exact same ad copy that I used before. You could test ad copy to see what works best. You could try other things like still looking for, still need a personal injury lawyer, or, still suffering from acne, or something along those lines. But this is an amazing way of getting really targeted traffic at a really low cost per conversion. Where remarketing helps out the most is going to be in this case of Oliver Manufacturing. So in the case of Betsy. So why would it help out most in Oliver Manufacturing's case? Because first of all, in this industry, the people searching for gravity table separators and fluid bed dryers, it's going to be extremely small. This is, I think we went over this in a previous video, but this is the sort of sale that lots of people decide on using more traditional methods, most likely, such as, they're looking at trade magazines, they're going to trade shows or big conferences, they're going to knowledge events around the country or possibly around the world, depending on the industry, and they're learning, and that's where they're meeting the sales reps for these agricultural equipment companies or these B2B, companies, and deciding on what product they want to buy. Typically, they're not searching online for this because it is such a small market. Now, in these sorts of cases, people, let's say this company, Oliver Manufacturing, has sales reps that go to these trade shows and hand out their cards, or they take out little ads in magazines, trade magazines. Those people are going to be going directly to olivermanufacturing.com and then leaving. Most of them will be leaving without calling the company or placing an order. Now, this is where retargeting and following people around with your ad can help you add hundreds of thousands of dollars, to your monthly sales figures, because you're continually getting yourself in front of this extremely small but extremely targeted group of prospects. So the more targeted the industry, the more remarketing works. The more people find out about the industry through offline means, the more remarketing, retargeting works. So just because those people arriving at your website are so micro-targeted and hard to reach through to the other methods on the internet. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has encouraged you to set up your search retargeting, remarketing ad groups. Now, in my next video, I'm going to go over ad copy and how to mold anyone into a buyer using copywriting techniques.